Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I am your host, Evan from HIMediaTV. And welcome back to this. I think it's I Can't Shut Up Unless You Tell Me To. Or Little Black Book. One of the two. Today, I want to talk about Path of Exile. Sorry for the minor sound in the background. I am driving to work. Today I want to talk to you guys about Path of Exile, the game. And why, pray tell, am I talking to you about it? Well, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, I don't feel a lot of camaraderie with the I don't feel a whole ton of camaraderie with the Path of Exile community. When I started playing Path of Exile, I started playing it because I thought it was a fun ARPG with lots of skills and build diversity and, different ways to play the game, an interesting main story, fun mechanics. Sorry, that was my alarm telling me to get my ass out of the house. And I'm gonna be real, I hop onto the Reddit to see, what, because it's sometimes Reddit suggests things to me, and, because none of our information is private and nothing is sacred, Reddit also knows that I play Path of Exiles now. Specifically the first one. And I get the Reddit pop-ups from time to time, and one of the things that I kind of see and realize from, the, Reddit is that it's a lot of just, economy bullshit. People playing the game, getting a bunch of, high-value currency and so on and so forth, and I'm like, you know what? Good for them. I'm glad they like that. For me, though, I just like playing the game. My goal is I would love to be able to reliably get to, level 14 maps and start doing 15 maps and start doing those. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I've liked the Keepers League. I think that the Genesis tree is a really interesting, premise, and I like it. I'm not saying boo to it, but I kind of just want to go play my Standard League character now, because it's my Standard League character is a lot more stable and, in a much better place, and I don't know, I just, the grind of it all is fine, but I don't know, I think for me, I just enjoy playing a fun ARPG. I just enjoy playing a fun game, and I find Path of Exile 1 to be fun. I love how granular it gets, I love how technical you can get with the different builds and the skills and how weird and interesting those can all get, but for me, I do kind of feel that ultimately, the notion of playing the markets and selling a bunch of shit and doing X and Y and Z, I'm gonna be real with you, I couldn't give two shits. The only reason I don't play solo self-found is because I need to get a covenant, the covenant robe for my witch build, in which, gives all of my minions and shit, chaos damage, and I can just stack the fuck out of that. But I digress. All in all, I love Path of Exiles. I think it's a really fun game, but I am downloading Diablo 4 again to give their new season a try, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not, I'm kind of done with the Abyss, with Keepers of the Abyss. Then I'll probably end up playing the Keepers content more when it hits the Standard League. If it hits the standard league. I'm hoping we don't get a sort of, mercenaries scenario where they end up ripping it from the game because it was too broken, which, honestly, I can't even blame them for that. That's fair. Also, I didn't find the mercenary stuff that fun. I think that Aaliyah from the Keeper's Monastery is a more compelling character. I think that the Genesis tree and its different options of womb gifts and stuff is really, really interesting. I think that the flesh graphs add a really interesting depth of play. I like that you can equip 2 of them over time. I specifically got a flesh graph that every time I use a flesh offering, it spawns a bunch of like little skitter guys, and I run a minion swarm build, so that definitely does play up. That being said, I do kind of wish I could upgrade the flesh graph. I haven't really unlocked the currency to be able to upgrade my flesh grafts yet, but I'm probably not going to do it before the end of this league. And honestly, I think that's okay. I did see some statistics that the Keepers League is has the new distinction of being the league with the least amount of retainment of players, which sucks, but I kind of get it. I don't know. I feel like from what I hear from like some of the more sweaty meta players is that the mechanics of the new league and stuff don't really change the substance of what you're doing to level up quickly, and I kind of get that to a degree, but for me, I'm gonna be real. I don't mind at all. I do genuinely like the Keeper stuff. I think it's fun, and I can't wait to use it with my King's March on my standard league and my normal witch, and just slowly but surely get to a point in Path of Exile that I'm able to like do higher level content, and I think that'll be fun. I do genuinely believe that will be fun, and I'm excited for that in a way. All right. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to this episode. I just wanted to yap for a little bit, especially as I was going into work. I just had this thought, and I didn't know where else to put it. And it was going to be too much for a 3-minute short. So thank you all for listening to this episode of I Can't Shut Up Unless You Tell Me To. I appreciate your time. And join the Discord community. We've got a good community, and we'd love to have you. Regardless, this has been HIMediaTV. I have been your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and I will see you guys next time.